Greetings, Webheads, and welcome to episode 55 of Witty Banter, yet another Marvel Crisis Protocol podcast. Just Patrick here. I'm doing a quick intro. We've got a little bit of audio that we recorded either at AdeptiCon or shortly after AdeptiCon, just to give you a little bit of a feel for what happened there. We wanted to get that out to you. We'll have a full episode coming up, giving our thoughts on everything we got out there and all the new stuff that we've learned. I do want to say a quick thank you to Charles Gutwiller. Got a new Patreon, joined us at the Itsy Bitsy Spider level. Thanks for jumping into the neighborhood. We appreciate that, Charles. Otherwise, we'll get you in real quick. We'll get you the audio from Adepticon, and then we will have our full breakdown next week. Thanks, Webhead.
All right, so it is Saturday morning, 8:38. I'm standing here with David. David's the only one of our group that made it to Saturday. So, David, how you feeling getting ready for round two?
I'm pretty stoked. I'm excited. I'm excited to see to play all the Sharks and see games. There's a lot more rosters that I didn't think would have such a showing, and they have a better showing than I thought. Criminals. There's tons of criminals.
Are you approaching kind of getting ready for today different than yesterday or a normal kind of an event?
Maybe a little. I'm trying to think more. I want to have multiple plans for multiple threats and different crises and whatnot. And so, it's a little bit different than just a regular event, just because the caliber of players is just better.
Feeling confident?
Yeah, I'm excited. My goal is 2-1, so if I go 2-1, I'm good with that.
All right, well, we'll catch up with you as the event goes on. Good luck.
Sweet.
All right, round one's over. How'd it go?
I lost. It was a very close game to Ryan Farmer. Great opponent. I appreciated, he played well. He was very... he asked me questions about what I was doing and was just making sure that the things that I was doing, and because he hadn't had much experience in the combo. Just had some weird luck, like a pole act ASM not getting dazed by voodoo with a bunch of power is crazy.
So what were you playing and what was he playing?
He was playing webs, so he had ASM leadership. He was running ASM, Wong, Black Cat, Noir, and Gwen. I managed to I punked Gwen super early. I think I dazed her at the top of 2, and I ended up KOing her in 3. She didn't really do much. Emma dazed Noir super early, and then I had another activation where I just left him alive, and it just bad, but it happens.
What were your crises?
We played Deadline to Destruction and Spider Infected.
And on which threat?
And we played it at 16 because I figured webs, you got to choose the lower threat, which was probably the better choice, because if I would have chose 17, he probably would have upgraded to, maybe he upgrades Wong or something, or maybe he takes a 4. That's probably not what I wanted to happen. So.
Well, good luck next round.
Yeah.
All right, so we're here after round 2. David, how did it go?
I won. I played Doramu. I played against Jesse Eakin. He was a really good opponent. We played on the stream table, which was awesome. I got to play Buster, and that was really good. Buster did a bunch of work. Emma is amazing. Emma tanked probably 7 or 8 attacks and still was alive. It took, he spendered my Emma, or he spendered Buster, and I sacrificed into Emma, and then I transformed away so he couldn't get within 2 to put the spender into Buster, and so it ended up he dazed Emma, but I didn't care. She had 1 health, and then I had Buster still alive, and then I just hit Runaway and then scored the game. I scored super fast. It was Senators and Wedding Party, which is crazy. We played on 20. He went wider than I expected him to go. But I was just beating him up and scoring the points. It was a good game. It ended 19-15. yeah, I don't know if there's anything else.
Who was on? Which team did you take at 20?
So I took Buster, Emma, Strange, and Wong, and Magic. Well, and the play that won the game for me was Magic was way far by herself. So I activated Wong and like walked away and healed him, and then I activated Magic, and she walked medium. She like placed 2 within 2 of Zemo. She journeyed through limbo Zemo way out into fucking nowhere, and then she walked onto the other point, and Zemo couldn't do anything. He was like not close enough, so he just walked Zemo onto his point, and that was it.
And you had that was a scenario combination you had actually kind of planned for, right?
Yeah, I kind of figured that if I was going to play Wedding Party, I would probably play at 20 and probably play Buster, and like it just worked out with the Senators. Like we had a little bit of a mistake where his Echo charged, and then she hit, and then she walked away, but she had a Senator, and she wasn't supposed to do that, and we caught it too late. That probably would have changed the board state quite a bit because Echo would have been closer to me, and she wouldn't have been on the point. But the judge ruled that there was nothing they could do because it was already passed, which was fine. That like both of us missed it, and just because of the weird interaction with being able to charge and then having another move action. But yeah, it was a good game. I pleased with the results. It's on the stream. I'm assuming you can watch it.
All right.
So,
well, congrats. Good luck on round 3. All right, we're after round 3. David, how did it go?
I won my 3rd game. It was good. I played Apocalypse. He played Apocalypse, Toad, Nebula, Blob, Gambit, and Magic. And then I played Strange, Emma. What the hell did I play? Strange, Emma, Ironmonger, Magic, and Voodoo. And we played Senators and Infinity Formula. I just basically ran away with the Senators.
2 Senators games in a row.
Yeah, 2 Senators. Well, and what's funny about that is on the draw, my opponents got they both ended up with Spider Infected and Senators, and they chose Senators. So like it kind of worked out for me. Like it's pretty good just grabbing, like I had like Ironmonger grab one of his, and then I had Magic grab another one of his. I just kept stealing his Senators on his side, and he just couldn't keep up score, and I just basically just played around. I didn't attack Apocalypse once the entire game. I just moved away from him and killed this other stuff.
So you're 2-1 now with 1 round left to go?
Yep, 2-1 now, 1 round left to go.
How do these games at this level feel compared to like sort of our regular events or when you play?
It's the margins are a lot thinner. So like there's going to be times where you have close measurements, and it's going to be like usually like in casual games when you have a close measurement, you're like, just go ahead and take it. It's fine. But like in this kind of like those close measurements are super important, and like sometimes you even have to like call a judge to get a measurement because like it's important to know like if you're in or not. And like sometimes those small minute like details matter, and like it happened to me I had an activation with my Voodoo who had like he had like 9 power on him, and I was like, what can I do with this? I thought about pole decking and trying to Daze Apocalypse, but that wasn't going to work. So I ended up just double moving, possessing Toad, and sitting on the other side and forced him to deal with my Voodoo. And so he spent like 3 activations of characters trying to get rid of Voodoo, and it just meant he couldn't score any. I mean, he eventually KO'd him, but like he couldn't pick up his Senator because he had Senators, and Nebula can't pick up a Senator. So like as soon as I realized the Senator was dead on the ground, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna run the rest of my team away. And then I used Emma to just like take Blob's lunch money, and like he just like died super fast. Like Blob was in the corner most of the game. Like I don't think he did anything, which was hilarious. And he was Pestilence. I think he rooted Emma. That's the only thing he did. He rooted Emma, and that was it. Yeah, it's good.
Right. 1 more to go. Good luck.
All right. So I've got David here. We're a little time shifted because we're back in Omaha, but we did want to make sure that we covered everything. So, David, you want to kind of reset things a little bit. Where were you at for your last round of your Worlds tournament, and how did it go?
So I played Mike. He played Guardians. He played Star Lord. What did he play? He played Star Lord, Yondu, Namor. What is that? Star Lord, not Yondu, Namor. That's 9. 13. Did he run a 4? I think he played Nebula and who the hell did he play? I don't remember who he played. I'll think of it, I'm sure.
Okay.
But we played, what did we play? We played it was the Guardian Save Shi'ar, and we played
Okay.
Cubes.
Okay.
It
Do you
was
remember?
a do you remember what threat?
What threat you played?
I believe we played. I believe we played. I think is Guardian Safe Shield. I think it's an 18. It's an 18, right? Or no?
Sounds right. I can go look real quick. Keep talking. I'll go look.
Okay. Well, either way, I played. So what did I play? I played Supreme Strange, Magic, Emma. I played Wongers, and I think I played Voodoo.
Okay.
Which should put me at 17. We must have played
Yeah.
17.
Yeah. Guardians is 17.
Uh, okay. So we played 17. The game was so he won Prio. He did the thing with Namor. He took the middle one. He walked back. So then what did I do? I'm trying to think if I backdived him. I don't think I did. I think I just kind of like moved up onto him, and I messed up his Star Lord early with Strange. I think I dazed him pretty early, and then he kind of ran him away on because he had. So I ended up with I want to say my Ironmonger had like pivoted around to his like back point. Well, and he also like on round 1 he failed the flip on his back point with Star Lord, so it ended up being the extra point from him having one more cube than me ended up not mattering because I flipped both points and had 2 cubes, so we were both scoring 4. Um, his Namor didn't really do much. He was like really trying to harass he was really trying to harass Emma, and Emma, man, Emma's so good. Uh, there were there was at least twice where he charged Emma with Namor, and I diamond formed, and he didn't do any damage to stagger her. And then I had his Namor, so I basically set him up to where I could to where because he eventually got 2 cubes with Namor because he forced a drop and he grabbed one, and I basically what happened was I knew the cubes were going to daze him in the cleanup,
Hmm.
so I basically just purposefully like held my activation so that he would daze one of my characters so I could steal Prio, and then I activated with Prio and had Emma just or I think I did it with Emma. I either did it with Emma or Voodoo, one of those two. I pulled act Namor and just KO'd him. He didn't even get to activate.
Oh wow.
He was pretty sad about that. Um, and there was a point where he was trying to chase down my because I had gotten 2 cubes onto my Ironmonger, and he
Hmm.
was like trying to chase him down with Yondu, so he shot, hit, and run. So I was like, okay, I know he's going to try to move closer because he had Ironmonger super low. I think Ironmonger had maybe 2 health.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fall back. So I fell back with Ironmonger, and then I bumped away,
and then he was so far away from Yondu that Yondu just couldn't reach him. And then I activated Ironmonger and ran his ass into the corner at the end of the game because he had 2 cubes on him. I was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
he's not going to get these 2 cubes. And it was like it was super close. It came down to I had to. This was my last game, and I played. I mean, I had played 8 rounds in 2 days. My mind was a little frazzled. I wasn't quite on my game as much as I should have been. And
Right.
there was a point at which I realized I was like, okay, I've got Ironmonger with 2 cubes, I've got Strange with a cube, and I've got Magic with a cube. And uh I was like, okay, well, I consistently got him with the convo bump because he had tried to kill my Magic with Nebula, and instead of he just like shot pistols, like the range 4 pistol
Yeah.
Magic, and then I bumped out of his range 3, so then he had nobody left to attack. So he smartly just like kind of moved because he had seen me measuring. I had tipped my hand because I was
Right.
like trying to figure out if my Wong could like double move and flip his
Hmm.
side. And I was like, and I had positioned it to where I had enough like range to do it. And
Hmm.
so I was like, okay. So because I was measuring, he knew that that was what I was trying to do. So
Yeah.
he ended up with his second move with Nebula. He like body blocked my Wong from being able to walk to the point and flip it. And so because I couldn't land
Uh,
next to it to flip it, that meant that I couldn't take the extra point.
so he
And
saw
so
he kind of
yeah,
saw what you had coming.
yeah, because I was measuring it out to make sure that I could do it. Looking
Gotcha.
back on it, I probably should have just measured one of the movement templates just to see, and then not,
Hmm.
and then just figured that I could do it. It's
Right.
also probably something that I should have like just known that a medium mover can double move if they're on the inside of a B. Or well,
Yep.
it's not a B. It's technically Guardian, so it's a little squished in. So I had enough room to do it. I should have just known that I could do it. Um, but so he body blocked me there, and I was like, okay, well, I just got to survive, right? Because if my Strange survives and my Magic survives, and I have the 2 points plus the 2 points that Monger has, I win, right?
Right.
So he manages to like it's everything that needed to happen for him happened. He managed to he managed to move, and he managed to charge with Zemo, and he managed to daze my Strange.
Hmm.
And I had like with the first attack I had survived, and then I bumped into cover, and yeah, he still got me. He got me like to the box. It was like to 1, and I was like, ah. And then I was like, okay, as long as Magic survives, this is okay. We'll go into a tie, and then I'll win in the next round, right? Because I had already picked up Namor, I picked up Yondu. I
Yeah.
think he only had Star Lord and his Zemo, who was injured, left, and so and I still had he only dazed Strange, so I still had Strange Wong. I think I had Strange Wong, Voodoo, and Emma still left alive. My Ironmonger would have KO'd because the cubes would have killed him, which I was fine with because he would have had to figure out how to get out there anyway. But I basically was like, okay, I can let as long as Magic survives. He manages to walk Star Lord, hit and run a shot into Magic, and he
Okay.
manages to daze her by 1. He got her
Okay.
straight, like he did exactly. She had 3 health left, and he did 5 damage on 5 dice, and I only blocked 2.
Ugh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I just couldn't. And then after the game, I had realized that if I would have, instead of trying to double move Wong over, if I'd
Yeah.
have healed Magic with Wong,
Hmm.
she would have survived, and then I would have took it to another round.
Ugh.
But
Yeah.
unfortunately, I just didn't. I was like, she was live on. She had 3 health. I was like, he only had Star Lord shot. Like he needed to get real lucky there, and he just.
Hmm.
I mean, he did. And unfortunately, that's. I mean, I ended up losing by 1.
Yep.
because he dazed her and took her. Well, he didn't take her cube. He took the other cube, but I mean, it didn't matter. That made it so that he won by one.
And that
I
was the
mean, it was a good
difference.
game.
Yeah.
There was a couple of issues. Like we had an issue with a terrain piece that fell over,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he like it had fallen over, and I wasn't paying attention to what he was just like, hey, this terrain piece fell over. I
Mhm.
want you to place it so that because I don't know where it was. And I was thinking like, I don't know where it was either. I'm just gonna put it right here. And I
Yeah.
just put it down, and where it was, it ended up being enough space for him to use that and Nebula's body to body block Wong from being able to reach the point. And he was literally like a millimeter off from being able to
Oh,
reach the point. Like it wasn't even like, and had I made that flip, I win the game
right.
because that would have taken a VP from him and put me up a VP. And so like no matter what else happened, I win there. And
Right.
so
So,
And Nebula couldn't contest it, so it was just a straight 3 flip, right? Um, and like it happens. I could have played that better, but like I said, it was my last game, and I was like, I mean, when you're playing in an event like Worlds, it's a
mhm.
lot. Like it's a lot of like you got to be like your measurements got to be perfect. Like your opponent's not going to give you leeway to just kind of be like, I think this is right. Like they're not going to let you because stuff like that is how you win games, right? When it, when the competition is high and the players are good skill, then it becomes like the
Yep.
very nitpicky little tiny things that make the difference, right?
That's the differential between winning and losing at that level.
Yeah, basically. Because I
And
mean, all of those opponents that made it into Worlds, I mean, they're all of them were skilled. Like it's
mhm.
not easy to get into that. Like even going into like when we played in the qualifier, like my games were tough in the qualifier, so like
Mhm.
it only ratcheted up
Yeah.
as I got into playing those games. My opponent was really nice. Like I said, if I'd have probably like stopped and thought about it and thought about like healing magic
Mhm.
instead of trying to make the risky play. But I knew that was the play, right? Like, because if I make that flip, it wasn't
Yep.
maybe we go. It was I just
It's
win,
right.
and because Nebula couldn't flip it, so like it didn't matter, and it just wasn't. I just didn't measure. Well, I kind of tipped my hat, and he body blocked me, which was good. I mean,
Yep.
that was the play.
Yep. So now you've had a little bit of time to kind of take a step back and think about the event as a whole. Is it is was Worlds what you expected it to be?
Uh, I mean, yes. I mean, I wasn't on Friday, like before we played on Friday, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll make it, no problem. Like I could do this. And then as I started to play games on Friday, I was like, this is gonna be hard. Like this is not gonna be easy. And I mean, I just barely lucked into enough to make it in. And then
Hmm.
so once I got into Worlds, I was like, well, I'm just gonna play the best I can play and see
Hmm.
where it shakes out, right?
Hmm.
Um, I will say one of the things that I noticed about playing Wizards is
Hmm.
that not a lot of my opponents had much experience into Wizards.
Yeah.
So I was kind of I was kind of working with a stacked deck, as they say, like because
Yeah.
like I I wanted to give my opponents enough information that they weren't getting blindsided, but I also didn't
Mhm.
want to give away like my, trap cards, right?
Sure.
Like I had a situation where I was playing my second game and it was
Hmm.
streamed, and I actually went back and watched the stream, and I was like, "Oh man, I played that game way better than I realized." But there was a spot where I had my Hulkbuster was I think he had 3 or 4 health left, and then he was right next to Emma, and Emma had like 1 or 2 health left. The Hulkbuster was holding my thing, and he was like I didn't want him to die because he was also on the point, right? So I was playing in a Dormammu, so he went up and he put a spender into Hulkbuster, thinking that he could get the trigger and try to daze Hulkbuster and daze Emma.
Mm-hmm.
And or no, maybe Emma was already injured. I couldn't remember. But either way, no, he couldn't have been already injured. She hadn't already been injured. But I basically he went into Hulkbuster and I sacrificed into Emma. And as soon as I sacrificed into Emma, I transformed so that I was out of 2 of Hulkbuster. So even if he hit the trigger, he couldn't hit Hulkbuster.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I did it, he realized that he was like, "Fuck, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that because he should have just put a builder into Hulkbuster." Granted, I still would have sacrificed it into Emma anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but
But you did. But at least it would have been an option.
yeah, at least it would have been an option. And he ended up dazing Emma, which I didn't care. She had 2 health left. She wasn't holding anything. It didn't matter what she did. I just needed to make sure I kept Hulkbuster alive. And
Right.
and when I went back and watched the stream, the commentators were like, "Oh, that was a really, really good move right there." Like they picked on it as soon as I transformed. They were like, "Oh, that was pretty smart." And they were like initially on the beginning of the round or at the beginning of the game, they were impressed by how aggressive I was playing with grabbing the senators. But like, if anybody who's played against Convocation, especially my Convocation, knows that I am much more willing to just put like Emma out there and put like Ironmonger, whoever I got because of that bump. Because as soon as I bump away, it's like, okay, you're not going to get a second shot at hitting me now.
Yep.
And so like I know that I can just keep that. So as long as I'm going and stealing all of your senators, then like I'm gonna go up like it's gonna be like 5-3 or something. Or you're gonna grab my senators, which means I'm gonna get to take shots at you, which is like a double-edged sword, right? Because now you got like Strange attacking you, and you got all these characters that you're like, I don't want to be double attacked by these guys.
So
I
are you planning? Is this something? This was everybody's first Adepticon. Is this something you're planning to do next year?
Oh, 100%. I had a ton of fun. And I am really, really glad that I decided to take Wizards because I think I was the only Wizard player there. Like, there was nobody else. Like, not in the affiliation battle, not in the qualifier, not in Worlds. That was it. So I was like, at least I'm representing for Wizards, right? I did pretty good. I ended up going 3-0 in the affiliation battle on Sunday. So did JP, and JP, I think he ended up ahead of me by like 0.1 of or something of strength of schedule or something. It was weird.
Well, it was a short enough event that you were going to have weird tiebreakers.
Yeah, you're gonna have weird tiebreakers, and so unfortunately, it is what it is. But I mean, I went 3-0 with Wizards, and I played all Wizards except for Taskmaster. He's kind of an honorary wizard. He does wizard things.
What? No, he's not. He's just there.
He has a cape. That was the discussion.
Okay.
He has a cape.
Okay.
He has a cape.
You got me on that one. He's not only a cape, he's got a white cape. So okay.
Exactly. It's technically a cloak. He is a cloak.
It is a cloak. That's true because it goes over the head and everything. Okay, you got me on that one. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, as a Sentinels player, I have feelings about Taskmaster, so I'm right there with you.
Hey, Taskmaster was actually really good in my.
Taskmaster was legit.
Yeah, Taskmaster's better than people think he is.
Oh yeah, I now with the Sentinels roster expanded, it's going to be weird not to have to play him, but yeah, he's legit. So
they got some good stuff coming.
Oh yeah,
that stuff they got coming is really good.
That's gonna. I'm still processing. So what
I'm excited to talk about that at some point.
Yeah, I am too. Oh, believe me, I am too. So what were your thoughts about the event as a whole? Not just the
Crisis Protocol part, but like the venue, the people, Milwaukee, just the entire event from when you arrived to when you left. What were your thoughts about it for someone who's never been to Adepticon but is thinking about it? What would you say about it?
So, I mean, the venue was great. Like, it was huge. They had plenty
Mm,
of like support. There's plenty of table space. There wasn't, I mean, we weren't like packed in like sardines, and it
mhm,
wasn't like squad goals where it was 100 degrees.
mhm.
Like it like the venue and the hall and all that stuff was really nice, and they had like food vendors in the place, so you didn't even have to go outside. It was a little expensive, but it's to be expected in that kind of environment, right?
Yeah.
Like, because you're going to pay more when you're buying stuff like
Yep.
there. You're paying for the convenience of them bringing food to you. But the food was still
100.
good. Like the pizza was good, the burgers were good. Like it was good. Um, I mean, we got to see all the vendors. We got to buy StarCraft stuff. We got to like hang out. Like that's probably the best part
Yeah.
of it is just like hanging out with your friends and you know
Yeah.
like fucking off and doing whatever, right?
Yeah.
Um, and the games were good. They were well run. They were well judged. It was organized. There wasn't like we didn't have like issues with like clock management or like just like weird issues with terrain or nobody. I i didn't see anybody that got like tilted. It seemed like the
Mm-mm.
environment was much like for an extremely competitive event. It didn't feel like it was super like sweaty, right? Like the games were still fun. And
I was both games I won and games I lost. I was shocked how just utterly chill everybody was, and how,
yeah,
Schick always describes it as cooperative competitiveness, and I was just absolutely blown away by how much that was the vibe of everybody that I engaged with. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. There's a 0% chance I'm not going next year. So that was a ton of
yeah,
fun. That
yeah, I
was
think
absolutely worth the drive from Omaha to Milwaukee.
oh,
Okay.
100%. And
Any? Oh yeah, go
uh
ahead.
so I would say if you're planning on going, I would I would make sure you kind of I wouldn't go there on the day that you're going to play games. One,
Hmm.
because that would be a mistake. Go at least a day ahead of time so that
Hmm.
you can get situated, you can know where the venue is, you can
Yeah.
because those games they start early. Like it's like 8:30. So like if
Yep.
you can't be really like dawdling around. So knowing where the venue is and how to get there and where to park and all that stuff, figuring that out ahead of time you'll save yourself a lot of like hassle by
Yep.
doing that.
100%.
Um, I would also say be prepared to spend money because there's gonna be tons of vendors there, tons of things you probably want to play, even things that you see and you're like, oh, you didn't even realize you wanted to play that, but then you're like, I kind of want to play that. Um, I mean, there's painting stuff. They do all the painting competitions. You can meet like other painters and like
Yep.
interact with ask questions, and you can like do all kinds of stuff. Um, and like the Adepticon prize wall was really cool. Like I got some pretty cool stuff. I got the range tools.
Did you,
I got my boy Supreme Strange's plastic card, which is
yeah.
fantastic, by the way.
Hmm.
And I think I got Blue Marvel's foil card and Spectrum's plastic card, and I got the tracker, and I got like a couple of the foil alternate art tactics cards. Like I got that super sweet Journey Through Limbo. That
I
card
was
is
just gonna ask.
fantastic.
I was just gonna ask if you got the Journey Through Limbo one. That was very cool.
Oh, a hundred
I got.
percent. As soon as
Yeah.
I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
getting that thing. Obviously, I'm playing Magic.
Yeah.
Why
I
wouldn't
got the.
I?
I got the foil Spider Ham. Anything above that's gravy.
I looked at that Spider Ham and I was like, man, that card is cool, but my other card is cooler.
I don't. Yeah, and see,
The
I
other
don't
Ham
have,
card is way
and I
cool.
don't have the alternate
Way,
card. So having that one is perfect for me, and that's perfect. So, okay, well, thanks, David. Appreciate it. And congrats on making along. And we'll webheads. We'll catch up a little later.
awesome.
So we are just a little bit after the fact, but I got Alex here. Alex, just can you kind of? This was your first Adepticon too, as well. Is that right?
Yeah, it was my first Adepticon.
So, what were your overall expressions of the experience?
It's probably been one of the most fun tournaments and like conventions I've been to. Like I've been to other conventions that are not gaming related, and this definitely is peak.
And JP, this was your first Adepticon too, is that right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So what was your overall expression of the event as a whole?
It was cool. It's there's a lot going on, but I almost expected more. I don't know. It wasn't quite as chaotic as I thought it would be. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make it bad. It wasn't insanity.
Well,
It was cool though. There's enough going on to take up a day and not be bored and stuff. So
well, and both you guys, the only thing what you signed up for was you did Worlds, the qualifier on Friday, and then you didn't have anything until the affiliation battle on Sunday, right?
Correct.
And
yeah, that was poor planning on my side. Just all the events filled up super quick after AdeptiCon opened for registration. So
yeah.
I literally had no events planned. I had to get on the wait list for the qualifier. All the affiliation battles were sold out within like 15 minutes after registration actually opened. Everything was filled up. So I ended up getting into the affiliation battle on Sunday morning, just as like a standby.
It was the same for me, and I suppose it's a different experience if you make the Saturday qualifier.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I was expecting to get into Saturday and then do all the things I ended up doing Saturday on Sunday. But since I scrubbed out on the qualifier day, I just pushed everything from Sunday to Saturday and then hopped on the affiliation battle, and that was the weekend. Then we drove home, got home on Monday morning.
I know for me, one of the things that I just couldn't quite keep my head wrapped around was just how big the thing was, how many people were there playing games. I mean, we were in the kind of the AMG room, which was plenty big. That wasn't even like, that didn't even hold a candle to all the Warhammer players. It just was just such a big event.
Yeah, I guess I didn't walk around on the other floors too much, so I was kind of compartmentalizing myself to like the AMG stuff, and I guess there was some Warhammer going on the other side, or I don't remember. Maybe.
I think
Warhammer
there's a bunch
was on
of
the
demo
same,
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Warhammer was on the same floor as AMG.
Okay. Yeah, but I didn't walk around too much on the first two floors. So.
The first floor I checked out a little bit because I was selling stuff at Adepticon, and one of the guys wanted to meet on the first floor. And good lord, that grand ballroom is massive.
No.
I was shocked at how big it was. It was basically the third floor that we were on without walls. It was huge.
So, and Alex, you did everything we did, but you also had an entry into the Path of the Worthy. For someone who's not familiar with that, can you kind of describe what that is?
Yeah, it's a painting competition that AMG hosts specifically for Marvel Crisis Protocol. You'll have to forgive me. I don't remember what it's called for Star Wars models. They just introduced it at the panel. I don't remember what it was called, but next year they're doing the same thing for Star Wars. But it is a painting competition for Marvel Crisis Protocol, and it's painting the best that you can paint, and then some, and more. Like it's to see if you're the best of the best, essentially. And damn, was it hard! It was hard.
Yeah, I know you were working on some projects for a number of months, and I want to talk about that. JP, I think you entered a couple of pieces in as well too. Is that right?
I just put one of my playing pieces in. I didn't actually go out of my way to make a worthy entry, so but I didn't enter a piece just for shits and giggles.
Alex, what made you decide that you wanted to do a worthy entry?
Um, what made me decide to do it is I looked at previous years, and I was like, backtrack a little bit. I've always wanted to improve my painting skills. I never thought I was like a bad painter. It looked great on the table, and that's usually what I was shooting for. But I've always wanted to improve my painting skills. And when I looked at the previous years, and last year especially, I was looking at some of the entries that won. I was like, I can do that. That's something I can do. It'll take practice, it'll take patience, but I can do that. It can't be that hard. Turns out it is that hard, but not in a negative way. It's something that you have to work up to. It takes practice, just like anything else, whether it's playing the game to become, the Mike DeLucas or painting in general. It just takes time and practice to get where you want to get.
So, what did you end up entering, or what did you decide that you wanted to have as your entry?
So one of the things that they judge worthy entries on is if it tells a story and if you can capture that story. So I really took the storytelling part, and I did two scenes. One of them was in the dual category where it's two models, and I did Carnage and Venom and recreated the first panel where they meet each other for the first time. It's not exactly the same because if you are a comic reader, they're not in their symbiote forms. It's just them in jail, but that's just kind of the scene that I was going for. And then the second one, I did a first class with Xavier danger room scene.
And I know before we left, it was from a time standpoint, it didn't work out. But at the very least, you were going to get feedback from like Dallas Kemp from AMG and some of the other judges. Have you had a chance to hear back from them yet?
Oh yeah, I got feedback day of.
And how? What did you think of the feedback?
It was so I do want to preface this. It will if you don't get a medal, it's okay. If you don't get if you don't win the whole thing, it's okay. They're going to give you extremely good and helpful feedback. And from a point of view of getting that feedback after putting a lot of time and patience and love into these projects, it's gonna suck. It's gonna feel like they're just trying to beat you down, but that's not the case. It was, I'm not gonna lie, just from that perspective and me on my side, originally it's gonna sound harsh, but it's not meant to be harsh. And
Mhm.
that's why I'm actually kind of glad we didn't talk about it until a couple of days later, because it's not actually harsh feedback. It's truthful feedback, and it's feedback that can help you improve and get better at it.
JP, did you get any feedback from the entry that you put in?
I didn't stick around for feedback just for the fact that I wasn't actually making a piece for the worthy. There's several components that they want to see in a piece. One of them is story. So I'm strictly painting for table play. So
Right.
obviously they're gonna give me feedback that I don't really need. They might give me some painting tips, but I don't think I think it's more just general stuff, compositional, maybe some painting tips. I don't know. It just wasn't something that really interested me because it was just not something that I was actually trying to do. It was just
Mhm.
I'll throw this thing in there and see what happens. So
Okay. Alex, what do you think you've taken away from kind of the whole process, starting from I'm going to do this to kind of coming to the end of get the feedback on your painting?
I did too much. That was a lot of the feedback that I got. It was very ambitious, and they liked the ambition. It was too much, though.
Okay.
If I had scaled it back considerably and focused a little bit more, they every judge said this, and they're like, we could have probably seen a bit more of your skill if you had scaled it back at least 30%.
Oh, okay. So overall, with the event, JP, is this something that you think you want to do again?
Yeah, AdeptiCon was really fun. You get to meet a lot of players, new players. In our case, we got to meet some people who listen to the pod we'd never met, so that was cool. I like the fact that you don't need a plane ticket to get there. At least we don't. That's kind of a big factor for me. Is like the flight of price of flights, price of hotels in expensive areas, the actually flying, packing, all that shit. Like pain in the ass. I'd rather just drive. So it's much more feasible for me to drive, or I guess a ride, because David is driving Miss Daisy. So driving Miss David, I guess, is the correct term. Yeah, I like Adepticon. It's you get cool, like they have the Atomic Mass Games prize wall, so you get some exclusive stuff there. You get to walk around, look at vendors. You get to look at new games coming out. Like we looked at StarCraft and Alliances, so we got to play. So that was cool. Just cool vibe, hanging out, getting away from family and getting out of your routine. Like I didn't do any social media stuff at all. I wasn't thinking about like current events or the world turmoil or anything. I was just kind of in my own little bubble for a few days, and it was a nice decompression. And I wasn't since I scrubbed out on the qualifier event, like it was like zero anxiety, zero pressure all weekend. So it was whatever, just vibing and chilling, talking with people, laughing, staying up way too late, and paying for it the next morning.
How about
You guys
you,
don't know
Alex?
anything about that?
No, I can't. I haven't spent the last 4 or 5 days trying to recover from my sleep deficit from the week at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Alex, how about you? Is this an event you think you'd try to do again?
Oh, absolutely. I would absolutely go to Adepticon again. I'm gonna mirror a lot of what JP said. Like it just decompressing from the world was super nice. Not looking at the world for 3 to 4 days was great. Um, and I think my favorite part was what JP had said: meeting people that you've seen online, that you've spoken to online, or just some people that you haven't seen in damn near a year. Uh, it's always great seeing these people again, and like even more so if it's your first time meeting them. Like that was so cool, just putting faces to names, especially Discord names, because God knows 90% of them aren't even close to what their actual name is. So it's just was super nice seeing these people and meeting this community on an even larger scale, and like feeling that sense of community and like bringing everybody together. It was pretty awesome.
What's the one thing about the event that surprised you guys? JP, I'll start with you on that one.
That surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
Just about Adepticon overall, or
Yes.
um,
Hi, Tom.
I don't know. I guess. Well, if I'm being honest, and this is gonna sound vain, I was surprised that I didn't make the cut. I was very surprised by that.
I
That's
will
probably the most
confess that.
surprising thing all weekend for me, because I was pretty much planning on playing day 2. So I'm like, oh well, shit. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
How about you, Alex? What was your biggest surprise?
Um, full honesty, I didn't really have much of a big surprise in terms of like expecting something and getting something completely different. So like in that regard, I didn't really have a surprise. I was walking in expecting nothing, early like nothing crazy. My favorite surprise though was getting that Jubilee card. That was pretty fucking cool.
The Jubilee card was pretty fun. Although having it handed to you in the first round of the qualifier did seem a little unfair, only in the sense is like my whole first round game was half split between looking at Jubilee and actually playing the game.
Can I put her in my Apocalypse roster now and drop code?
My favorite surprise was seeing Tom's ball sack.
Well, I mean,
That's what dreams are made of right there.
if that doesn't get you to come back, I don't know what will.
Had that shit gift wrapped.
Hi, Tom. How's it going?
Be just a fly on a wall.
Yep. Tom, can you hear us?
Yeah, he doesn't want to answer. We're not cool enough,
No.
I guess.
Well, I get that a lot.
Same.
Oh, let's see. He's fixing his mic. I'm trying to think what else. What did you think of Milwaukee as a host?
I thought it was awesome. That the Baird Center. Okay. Let me rephrase this. The Baird Center was awesome. Milwaukee was fine. Milwaukee was fine. It felt like it was just kind of a bigger Omaha, not in a negative way. It just I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting to begin with when it came to Milwaukee, but the Baird Center was fucking awesome. I can see why they moved there, because if the Chicago location was getting too small, they picked the right place to move Adepticon to.
I can't believe how much budget they have for construction cones. It's insane.
Yeah, I thought Omaha had a lot of construction cones. No, Milwaukee blows it out of the water.
Also, their interstate system, who the fuck doodled that shit on a piece of paper and thought it was a good idea?
The city planner's 6-year-old back in 1952 when they were constructing everything.
Yeah,
I
Jesus,
like the stop sign, stoplight /
Oh yeah, the stop sign / stoplight. That
green
was,
light.
oh, that's
green light
absurd.
stop sign combo. That's got that shit down.
Webheads, this is Tom. He's one of our local. He's one of our locals. He came out with us. Tom and I rode up, and then JP and Alex and David rode up a day later. Tom, did you think going up the extra day? What did you think of going up the extra day? We got there for the Thursday affiliation battle and then stayed till Sunday. What did you think about that?
Honestly, it was too much. It was one extra day. Now, given we didn't do a lot that first day, so maybe that allowed us to just have more fun Thursday, and that would have just changed to Thursday had we gotten there Thursday. But it was one day too much, I thought. I could have done with one less day.
I agree. Plus, I pay more of a price for what you miss out on going. So yeah, what were your thoughts overall on Adepticon, just as a whole?
I definitely like the facility. It's huge. There was plenty of vendors, plenty of room. Even though there was 160 people for the Worlds, it didn't seem cramped. Like there was plenty of room. You could spread out. You could think. Didn't have people on top of you interfering in your space. I was kind of surprised that people were just having fun. There wasn't real sweaty guys trying to gotcha, and it was just everybody I played was just there to have fun and have a good time, and if they won, they won.
I will say that's probably my biggest takeaway as well, was just how, even in the Worlds, how astonishingly chill everybody was. Now, I was 0-1, so I was probably out of contention pretty quickly and playing other people in the same circumstance. But it was just so much more of a positive event than, and I kind of expected it to be, but it wildly exceeded my expectations. So I was just super thrilled with that.
I was happy. I went 2-2. That's for me really, really good.
That's fantastic.
I was planning on making the cut Saturday.
Mhm.
I came pretty close to doing that. If I would have won one more game, I
Yep.
would have at least had a chance. And I came pretty close to winning that game. So
Mhm.
maybe next year. I think, I was happy I didn't make any mistakes. It was my unaffiliated roster. Oh, and playing unaffiliated on stream first game, that was very nerve-wracking. I was very
Yeah.
nervous that entire game. I don't
I
think it
mean,
changed the outcome.
yeah, but boy, just having to dive right into the deep end. That's impressive.
I did watch some of it today, and they were praising the fact that I went unaffiliated, and I was planning to do that for any time I played 20 anyway. So I did play 2 unaffiliated games. I won one, lost one. So I was happy I got to do that.
I was a little disappointed that they didn't have like individual best of affiliations because I so wanted you to get best of unaffiliated.
Yeah, maybe if affiliation battle unaffiliated would have worked, but I think that's counterintuitive.
Okay, so maybe we'll just kind of go around the horn for some quick closing thoughts. For anybody who has not been to AdeptiCon, what would your message to them be? JP, I'll start with you.
Well, shit filled up way quicker on registration day than I thought it would. Even though I had been warned by several people, I still was not prepared. So I would suggest probably getting on there and like I think they have the schedule stuff up like days or weeks in advance. So get on there and kind of map out how you want your weekend to be. It gets really chaotic if you're trying to figure out on the fly because depending on what you're wanting to do, it's damn near impossible to get it all done. Like to figure it out and nab the spots while they're still open. Because there's a lot of opportunities to like take painting classes as well. So if that's something you're interested in, those fill up very quickly. Just trying to like matrix your weekend together. Definitely would benefit from some forethought and planning. So I mean, I was able to kind of wing it for the weekend. But yeah, if it feels a lot better if you have the spots nailed down as opposed to like trying to get in on a prayer. So
Yep.
and they also have a pre-registration like a window. Like I thought it was like 15 minutes I think before registration. I think this was the first year they did it, but they opened registration up 15 minutes early as a pre-registration or some shit, and you could like get in on like in a queue.
Oh.
So I mean, I think we all did that. I think Eric had said something in the group chat about it, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure we all got in on it. But
a lot of
yeah,
us did, and it still was a wait.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was still a wait, and like, it's still everything's still filled up on me while I was trying to figure things out. So
Alex, how about you? Any for someone who hasn't been to Adepticon but is thinking about it, what would your advice be?
So, copy paste what JP said. But to not say the same thing he said, if you're thinking about it, just do it. Just do it. It was like over that entire weekend, including the VIP bag, including travel, including hotel, and or I guess we did Verbo, but like including lodging. And if you're lucky enough, I would suggest like doing a Verbo or an Airbnb. It's considerably cheaper. And like food, I think over that weekend, I spent I spent less than $1,000. Definitely less than $1,000. So like aside from those that want to fly, um, I just don't think it's terribly priced, and I know that can be a big determining factor for those that do want to go, but can't because they think it's going to be too expensive. And unless you've got uh, Tom, I love you, but unless you've got people like Tom that are a bad influence to make you buy things, that's the only reason I can see why you wouldn't want to go. Is because you're afraid of spending too much money. And in reality, it's really not as much as you think it could be.
yeah, I think I spent a fraction of that of 1,000. I'm trying to think of what I think the VRBO split was 160 each. I think I threw David like 50 something for gas, and then meals, and then like some booze. I don't know.
I threw a really, really big number out there because I had planned $1,000 to like including spending money,
Yeah.
but I just didn't spend as much as I thought I was going to.
Yeah, I think I spent like shit, I don't even know. Maybe 300, something like that.
Yeah,
Ballpark.
I would say maybe 500 on my part just because I had the VIP bag. But then
Yeah,
again,
I didn't actually buy any products, so
right, I did buy a couple of things, and like I initially planned on buying StarCraft possibly, but I told myself like I could just wait for it. It's no big deal. Uh, but then like the little bit of spending I did do it. I mean, it was still very well priced. Nobody's like showing up with something and trying to scalp the con goers. Essentially, like they're also businesses trying to make some money. They're not going to outprice themselves, sort of thing. And the VIP bag, I say it was. I think it was worth it. Because I basically sold it all and got almost all my money back. Like I sold just about everything and I made 175 and the VIP bag was 200. So it's like
so why
worst
do you
case
think it was why
scenario.
do you think it was worth it if you got
I thought it
less
was
than
worth it because there's a chance that we could have gotten something that was good. Like personally, if I got another Blue Marvel Spectrum box or a Sentinels affiliation box, I could have used that for price support for a tournament instead of having to spend my own money or like other ways of getting it. Or I could have used those models myself. I could have used them for painting projects, painting techniques. So when it was all said and done, if I make $175 and still keep a model that I want to keep for a fraction of the price, it was worth it.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
I don't know how I feel about walking around trying to find people to buy my shit though.
Well, I was lucky enough. I posted in the there's an Adepticon buy sell trade
Mm.
group.
You were gone for a while though, a couple hours at least.
Yeah, well, that was just some poor planning on a certain event's side where the guy that bought my stuff, he unfortunately got roped into doing something else until the first round of the event was over. And then we met up no problem, but like the actual time that I was planning and could have sat there for was only like a half hour.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Just kind of the adrenaline, the dopamine rush of getting the big gigantic nerd Christmas bag and opening up and seeing what was inside. That was just fun. And that was probably worth it. I kept some stuff and have in the process of selling some stuff, but if I win again, I would do that again. Tom, how about you? Any for someone who had not been to Adepticon before, any recommendations? Any thoughts that you would have?
I would say set a budget.
Oh God, yes.
Of
I
course
just
Tom would fucking say that after he gets Patrick to buy half the fucking store.
Yeah, you made
that's
such a bad influence, Patrick, walking away with half of Adepticon.
that's Patrick's budget, not mine.
So really, the advice is for me. That's the sad thing.
I mean, I went over too, and I pretty shiny things that I wanted really bad, and some things I've not seen before that I wanted to try. I got a nice wet palette, some
Mm.
brush things, just some cool little cheap knickknacks that might be useful. So, I mean, I would say definitely don't buy anything just because you can. Just make sure you're staying in budget, and that would have made. I mean, I had fun spending the money I did, but I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah. The only other thing I think I would add on to that is um, wear comfortable shoes. I did not. I wore an old pair of tennis shoes and my feet paid the price for it. So you're walking around a ton, you're probably schlepping around stuff. So just wear a comfortable pair of shoes. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up, JP?
Did you guys ever figure out what security was looking for? Every time we went through there, it seemed like they were pulling somebody over for something different.
They
That
were
was
just
kind of
checking bags to make sure
well,
that nobody had a fucking bomb.
For what though? Bombs?
Yeah, nobody had a bomb.
I don't know.
They did say no food or drink, but I carried food and drink in every day and was
I
never
had-
stopped.
Me too.
I had like little snack bars and stuff. I think they just wanted to make sure like nobody's walking in with a pizza or something like that.
They weren't sure what to do with my little pocket knife on my keychain. They thought maybe I might murder somebody with a 1-inch non-locking blade, or I might not. They ended up thinking that I might not and let me go through with it, but it took 3 of them to figure it out. I'm still not convinced they knew exactly what they were looking for.
The
Alex,
strange
how-
thing was when you would go through security and they would just let you go, and the next day they would search everything. It's like I had the exact same things both days.
Yes, 100%.
That was a bit of a mystery, and it didn't. The fact that it was 38 degrees and raining as you were waiting outside didn't help. Alex, any kind of final thoughts on the con before we close it out?
It was a blast. The bads were good. The goods were good. If you're thinking about it, just do it.
Tom?
I would say make sure you go with a bunch of good friends, because I think that was probably the best part of all of it. We had a good time hanging out, having a few beers. We just had a good time hanging out with each other and then played some games as well. So that was a good part of it.
I could not have said it any better myself. All right, thanks guys. We'll catch you later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you'd think I'd remember how to stop recording. Oh, there it is.
Stop.